What's going on, everybody? Josh here. Today I wanted to talk to you about two principles, two things that are overlooked, okay? And two things that are the most important things to do when you're doing a high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet, a keto diet. They are different, but I mean, they're in the same category in that you have to keep your carbohydrates low. So the two things that you need to make sure that you are doing, if you're somebody who is doing this type of diet because you want to lose weight, because you want to burn fat, because you want to have all of the benefits from a psychological standpoint that come along with it, higher immunity, decreased inflammation, so on and so forth. The two things that you need to do, okay, and you need to make a priority or else nothing's really going to happen, is that number one, you need to make sure that carbohydrates remain low. Whenever you start this type of diet, you get very excited. You look at all the delicious foods you can now eat because of the high fat aspect. And what we do is we put tags on these foods. We're like, I can eat that, I can eat that, I can eat that, I can eat that sweet. I can eat that for breakfast, lunch, dinner, great, snack. And we just get so excited about all of these foods that we can now consume, and they can remain within our macronutrient breakdown because we can eat 70% fat, 80% fat, and we kind of forget that the carbohydrate piece can add up, all right? Now, just because it's just creeping up doesn't mean that once we hit a certain threshold, okay, the body is not going to be able to generate ketones because our glycogen stores, our stored carbohydrate reservoir, reserve, you want to call it, is not being depleted. So that's why it's so important to keep carbohydrates low, because we need to make sure that we empty our glycogen stores, stored carbohydrates in the liver, in the muscles, okay? If these are not depleted, then the body can't pull fat from your subcutaneous, your visceral fat, the bloodstream, to actually create ketones. Now, the whole point of being on a ketogenic diet is so that your body creates ketones by way of using up fat, and this is how you're going to burn up fat. So, number one, without getting crazy, which I already did, number one, make sure that carbohydrates remain low. Number two, okay, make sure that you are consuming all of your food for the day in a small window, okay? And make sure that you are spending a larger window of time with the body devoid of food, okay? i.e. intermittent fasting, okay? So important. I don't even know if i.e. is the right terminology, whatever. But this is intermittent fasting, okay? Like I said before earlier in the video, you know, when we first start this type of diet, we get so excited. Like, I'm gonna eat all that bacon, I'm gonna eat all that steak, avocados, yeah, throw some salt on it, nice, nuts, it's all good. And you just consume it. You kind of just forget that carbohydrates can kind of creep up, but that's not the point here. We get so excited, and it's really difficult to spend any amount of time without food in the body, okay? Bottom line here is that this is going to be the way that you deplete those glycogen stores at its fastest, essentially, okay? Spending the largest amount of time that you can with the body devoid of food / low amounts of carbohydrates, this is how we're going to remove those glycogen stores from the liver and from the muscles, so that way the body can understand that, okay, I got nowhere else to go, I'm gonna have to pull from my subcutaneous fat, the fat that's surrounding the body, the visceral fat for those people that have lots of visceral fat. That's the fat that's surrounding the organs. This is very dangerous, and we need to make sure we get rid of it. So that's how the body starts to understand that it can pull fuel from this arena, okay? That we spend enough time without food in the body, glycogen stores get depleted, okay? And then the body can understand that fat can be taken from where it needs to be taken from, all right? So great, Josh, what do? Just don't eat? Great, thanks, man. See you later, click. Okay, the best way to do this, okay, intermittent fasting is daunting in itself. Not eating is daunting in itself. The best way to do this, and the way that I recommend it to all of my clients, is going to leverage your sleep time, all right? So we sleep for 6 to 8 hours on average for the general population, okay? This is 6 to 8 hours. This is a big chunk of time where your body is in a complete rested state. There's nothing being done from the breakdown of food perspective, okay? There's no food in the body. The body is completely devoid of food. We can leverage this time period, okay? And we can add some time onto it. So you sleep through the night, you wake up, have some water, decaf coffee, tea, decaf tea, whatever. And you do not put food in the body for another 4 hours. If you are fasting for 8 hours, if you are sleeping for 8 hours, if you add just another 4 hours onto that after you wake up, that's your 12-hour time frame that is optimal for intermittent fasting. Of course, any more time after 12 hours is going to be fantastic for generating ketones and using fat as fuel. So, you don't have to stop at 12 hours, but I'm also not telling you to never eat again either. So, yeah. So, there are people out there that do a one-day fast and then they don't incorporate intermittent fasting throughout the week. There are ones that do a 12-hour fast every day. There are people that eat one meal a day, and for that one meal, they consume 2,500 calories. There's lots of different ways to do this. You have to find what's right for you. It's not one size fits all. So do some experimenting, see what works for you. But the best way right out the gate, okay, if you're new to intermittent fasting, is to leverage sleep. Okay, anything else where you're eating breakfast and then you have to spend like 8, 9 hours without putting food in your body throughout your day and then eat dinner, it's just torturous. With intermittent fasting, with changing the way we eat, it's a hormonal game, okay? Hormones are at the forefront of everything that's taking place. And if we could just grab that shit by the neck, okay, we take a lot of control back. Okay, so this is a big deal. So I've ranted a lot, okay? Number 1, decrease carbohydrate consumption. Make it super, super low, okay? Number 2, intermittent fasting. Spend a large amount of time without food in the body and a small window of time where you're consuming all of your food. If you guys have any questions, post below. I want to hear what your thoughts are. I want to hear what you guys do out there. What is it that you do for intermittent fasting? How many grams of carbohydrates do you have? Do you think this whole thing is crazy and silly? Let me know. If there's a video that you want me to do and that you want to learn about, let me know. Post in the comments below, and of course, subscribe. Hit that like button, of course, if you've liked the button, because let's be honest, if you've made it to the end of this video, you liked the video. Come on. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am Josh Manda. This has been Mandatory Transformation. Have a great day.